Hey everybody, I'm Diane Gale and I am the author of the blog SustainableSlowLiving.com, and today I want to share with you 6 ways to bring spring into your slow living spring kitchen. It's not quite happening yet, but spring is here and there are going to be early spring vegetables coming out of the gardens. They'll be available at farm stands. The produce will start to look better in the stores, and flowers are going to be blooming, and I already have robins singing here every morning. So the season is about to change, and that uplifting mood that comes with it, that energetic feeling that comes with it, that hope, the rebirth and rejuvenation. This is the season of rebirth and rejuvenation. And you want to bring, well, I think you want to bring that season into your kitchen as much as I do. So the first tip that I want to share with you is to invite the season of spring into your kitchen. It's not going to come marching in on its own, although it would be great if it did. And there are just simple things. This doesn't have to be a big thing. You can change out your linens for brightly colored, brightly patterned linens that make you happy every time that you look at them. You can pick up some daffodils as soon as they come out in the garden stores, or some other bulb plant, a hyacinth or a lily, or any kind of beautiful spring flower, and put one in your kitchen. On the warmest days, go ahead and open your windows and put on some upbeat music and get some spring scented candles. And the one thing that I do all spring and all summer, not every time that I come into the kitchen because I spend a lot of time into the kitchen, but the one thing that I really like to do is to make a big pitcher of water in the morning, you know, citrus water with lemons and oranges and grapefruit, sometimes limes. I'm not a big lime fan, and I sip on that ice water all day long. And just seeing it on the counter with all that fresh fruit in it, it just changes your mood. It puts you into the it brings you into the spring season. So invite spring on into your kitchen. And the second tip that I want to share with you is to try new recipes. So this is the season for very fresh lettuce. You can try new dinner salad recipes. Spring peas are coming. Green beans are coming early. There are certain varieties of radishes that will be coming early. There's all fruit, a lot of fruit is going to be coming early. Now we won't have fruit here locally in my area, but there will be more fruit available in the grocery store. And you know, kiwis and lemons and limes and oranges, which we tend to think of as winter fruit, but they're a big part of spring cuisine, right? Who doesn't want like a great lemon cake? Blueberries, raspberries, asparagus, yellow squash is going to start coming, right? Maybe closer to early summer, but it'll be in the grocery stores now. And those are all ingredients that you can experiment with right now. So take a little bit of time and research some recipes using those ingredients. And even if it's only 1 or 2, give something new a try, something spring themed a try. Beverages are great for this. Beverages are very easy to do spring themed. So give something new a try in your kitchen this spring season. And then the third tip that I want to share with you is about what kind of meals to look toward cooking in your slow living spring kitchen, right? And we kind of touched on that just a tad in our last tip, but you know, our fare, our meal fare, our dinner fare, our lunch fare, our breakfast fare, our meals are lightening up. And somehow or another, the magic of spring is like our energy output increases, and yet our cravings for heavy comfort food decrease, and we want things that are lighter. So, you know, look toward lighter meals like stir fries and salads and frittatas. Create more beverages, smoothies, you know, look toward lighter meals and start to ditch some of that heavy comfort food. And if you are going to still make comfort food, if you're still going to do a casserole, like it's still going to be chilly enough here, plenty of days that I'm going to feel like making a casserole in the kitchen, you can start to trade your ingredients out for lighter ingredients, right? Like start to cut back on that heavy cream and start to cut back on those rich cheeses, you know, cheddar cheese, use Parmesan cheese instead. Make your meals more suitable for this season. And I did create a free spring recipes cookbook. And it just released this week. I'm going to toss that link in the description box below so that you can snag it if you'd like to. And I hope that you find some recipes in there that you love, that you want to give a try. I tried to design the recipes to be spring themed. There are one or two that are maybe a little heavier, but like I have an Alfredo linguine in there, a shrimp Alfredo linguine in there that is outstanding, and it's made with fresh garden peas. But you know, it's a little bit heavier fare, nice for some of the chillier days in spring, but most of them are light, spring themed recipes that I think you're gonna love. And I have tried to design all of them to be simple and quick so that you're in and out of the kitchen, because spring is a season that we want to spend more time outdoors. And then the fourth thing that I want to share with you, the fourth tip that I want to share with you is about the kinds of foods that you can be prepping one day a week to kind of prepare yourself for healthy eating for the week this season in your kitchen. And we're, you know, again, we're looking toward lighter fare. We want to be in and out. And I actually have a prep routine down for this time of year that really only takes me 2 or 3 hours. So compared to my fall and my winter time, where sometimes on the day that I spend in the kitchen prepping for the week, I'm in there for 5 or 6 hours. This is just a few hours, and I'll tell you what I do. I create a few beverages for the week, you know, fresh brewed iced tea, a homemade lemonade concentrate, and herbal mocktail concentrates. And I have links for the lemonade concentrate and for the mocktail concentrate that I'll drop down below for you. And then I usually create a few salad dressings and condiments and marinades so that my salad dressings are there, all that fresh leaf lettuce, all that fresh butter crunch lettuce, all that fresh romaine lettuce, all of that is going to be coming out of the gardens. And I'm going to be using a lot of salad dressing, and I'm going to be cooking on the grill, and I'll use salad dressing on sandwiches too. So I usually create just 2 or 3 of those. They literally take minutes. I create a marinade or 2 and toss some meat in the marinade. And if I'm going to cook it right away, I put it in the fridge. If not, I put it in the freezer, and then it's just ready when I need it to be ready. And grilling is something that you're going to probably kind of jump start, so you're going to want to grill a little bit, so it's nice to have some marinated meat ready to go. And then I try and cut up some veggies so that I have them ready for salads. And I will put a link down below for salad dressings, for condiments, for marinades, and for a video that I put out on prepping salads for the week. I like to have a little bit of that ready to go so that a salad is quick and easy to throw together. And I also like to have some vegetables cut up for stir fries, because stir fries are something that are quick and easy and light that I can make when I get home from work. And then finally, I cut up some fruit. Clean some fruit, cut up some fruit, get it in the fridge so that I can make some quick smoothies in the morning when I'm in a hurry. or so that I can make nice cream. I like to take my bananas, slice them out, stick them in the freezer and freeze them so that I can make nice cream. And there are recipes for nice cream all over the web, but it's pretty basic. You slice your bananas, lay them out on a parchment lined sheet, stick them in the freezer and freeze them, and then when you want to make your nice cream, you throw your bananas. My favorite is to do a little peanut butter and a little cocoa and a little bit of vanilla syrup, and I put all of that in a food processor along with some oat milk or almond milk, and you just blend it up until it's the consistency of ice cream. It is fabulous. So you can really wrap up your food prep in just a couple hours in the kitchen this season, and that's wonderful because you want to be outdoors. And then the fifth tip that I want to share with you is to make it a social affair. And I have shared this tip about the fall slow living kitchen and the winter slow living kitchen because the kitchen is a social place. And it is a social place all year, but each season has its own special magic, and of course spring has its own special magic. You can get together with some people in the kitchen, you know, bring friends and family. It can be couples, it can just be the women getting together. You can involve kids, and you can have a simple dinner party with just a quick stir fry and some sides and some nice beverages. You can do a tapas party, you know, or an appetizer party, as I'm used to calling it. And it's simple, it's easy, and you can just enjoy your time in the kitchen. Everybody can bring an appetizer, everybody can bring a dish, or you can whip it all up together. You can also still gather at this time of year to make things together in the kitchen. Now in the fall and in the winter, I talked about, you know, putting food up and preserving food because that's done a lot at that time of year. And it's not done as much at this time of year, but you can make salad dressings together and experiment with salad dressings and experiment with condiments and marinades. You can still preserve things together. You can quick pickle onions or radishes or fresh spring vegetables, you know, any of them. You can make jellies and jams together if there are things that are coming into season that you're able to do that with. You can do that with flowers in the spring season because a lot of your flowers are going to start coming up and some of them are edible. And you can even just experiment with making 3 or 4 nice, light, refreshing, spring-themed beverages together. And it just kind of gets you, you know, it's a way to spend time together, and it gets you some new recipes for your own kitchen. And then the 6th and final thing that I want to share with you is to lighten up your desserts in your spring kitchen. So in the fall, I did some heavier desserts. In the winter, I talked about, you know, lightening them up, making them healthier. I mean, you should make them healthy all year. But in the spring, it's very easy to do, and I personally am drawn more toward fruits for desserts. There are all kinds of desserts that you can make with fruit, and they don't have to be sugary desserts. There are tons of whole food plant-based fruit desserts out there that you can look into. I like to just have a little bit of fruit after my dinner. Sometimes I like to put a little honey on it, maybe put a little bit of nut milk on it or some oat milk. Sometimes I just like to eat a little bit of fruit. I like to take and make nice cream, like I mentioned earlier. That's probably my all-time favorite spring dessert. But look around, experiment, and come up with some lighter fare for desserts. Because now that the warm weather is here, you're just not going to want those heavy desserts. Even like the sweet potato brownie that I make, right? It's a little bit too heavy for this time of year. So look around, find some light desserts, make some in your kitchen, make some of that nice cream. And the one indulgent dessert that I will highly recommend you have this spring is farm fresh ice cream. If you have a dairy farm by you, and I do have a dairy farm by me now that makes ice cream, then you really need to just once in the spring and once in the summer. I mean, if you indulge more than that, I get it. I have myself down to just those 2 times every year because I don't like to have the sugar, and I don't feel well after I eat sugar. My body doesn't react well to it. So I have myself down to that. I highly recommend staying away from the sugar and trying to cut yourself down as well, but do make sure that you treat yourself to some farm fresh ice cream this spring because it's fantastic, and this is the time of year that it's available. So I hope that 1 or 2 or 6 of the tips to get the most out of your spring, out of your slow living spring kitchen that I've shared with you here today are useful to you. And I hope that, you know, employing them just makes your life a little better, because that's what it's all about, you guys. Here we are on this big ball floating around in space for reasons that I guess are kind of unknown to us. So enjoy it while you're here. Get the most out of it that you can. And for me, seasonal living is a great way to do that. Take some of these tips, use them in your own kitchen. And as always, it has been a great pleasure having you here with me today. You and I are going to get together again, and we are going to do it really soon.